We're talking about it, y'all, sacrifices. And how does that have anything to do with making you happy? And you're here at Fumble Forward, the podcast for people on an imperfect journey that are trying to discover the truest path to you. And how to do that? By building better relationships. And really, we all know sacrifice is hard, uncomfortable, but it's so absolutely necessary. And before we dive in, I always love to share with you all what book I'm reading or what book I'm going to be reading, all the things. I just finished up a really saucy, spicy short read about Kiana and Diesel, This Ain't Love, on Amazon, kind of audiobook, Kindle. That's what I meant, Kindle. It was such a good light read, supporting a friend on that one. And I'm excited for my next book, which will be Our Favorite Place, a Chicago romance novel. So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But as we're leaning into sacrifice, like I've had some crazy aha moments that I've learned, and I'm going to share with you all at the end of this episode. And it all has to do with candy. Yes, it started way back really to setting up New Year's resolutions for 2023 because I'm all about a New Year's resolution. Like I'm definitely a New Year's resolution girly. And this time for me, it was about cutting out processed candy in particular. And it turned from a resolution to honestly more like a commitment to myself that I'm going to cut out processed candy. I'm talking about the Starburst, Sour Patch Kids, Starburst jelly beans, Skittles, those kind of things. Because your girl was obsessed, all right? Because growing up, I, like many American kids, grew up on quite a bit of processed food. And my dad definitely had a sweet tooth. And I developed my own sort of sweet tooth. And, it didn't make it easier as I got older and I got my own money. Then I was just buying candy left and right. Okay. But y'all, one of the things I learned on this journey is that pain is a strong motivator. Y'all, let me tell you about the most horrendous of just dental experiences. Like, in the movies when you see they're like screeching sound like and they're about to go to the dentist and it's like about to go down. That's how I felt at this experience. Y'all, this was the moment I started taking it seriously about cutting out candy. I used to live in Houston, y'all, for about a year. When I was out in Houston, I did my dentist checkup and discovered that I had like an insanely embarrassing amount of cavities as an adult that like almost left me walking out of there ashamed. Like, why, as a grown adult, do I have this many cavities in my dadgum mouth? And then I proceeded to go through legit one of the most, no, like literally top excruciating dental experiences ever where they filled up everything and my mouth was just like, why do we have this foreign object in it? Can we please release it? And y'all, that was just a moment that it was just so ingrained in my head that I couldn't not take cavities, candy seriously. And so I really go back to the fact that pain is a strong motivator. And a few years went by. I was kind of taking it seriously ish, on and off. But then I had my moment of inspiration with a dear friend of mine, Sarah, back in Minnesota. She actually runs a nonprofit really focused on sustainability, agriculture, all the good things, and it's absolutely a nonprofit y'all should check out, see what she's doing, see how you can be a part of it. It's called Greener Pastures. But I say that all to say we're hanging out, we're kikiing, haha, and she shares with me that the girl don't eat candy. I'm looking at the girl like, come again, what? I looked at her like she had five heads. I was like, I've never met someone who did not eat candy, especially in the US of A. And I literally looked at her honestly in awe. Like I was genuinely in awe of what she was able to do. And it truly inspired me, not in a, oh, I saw, an Instagram post, and it inspired me. Like, no, she left me in awe of that is a kind of being that I want to possess and do. And so we have this pain motivator from this horrendous dental visit in Houston. We have this moment of awe with my girl Sarah. And it all built up to this boiling point of 2023 when I said I'm cutting out processed candy. I mean, the Sour Patch Kids, the Skittles, the Reese's, you name it. And it was so crazy when I had that moment of deciding this is what I'm going to do. It's really wild how things just started falling into place, y'all. Like, come between, I would say, January and March, I was eating candy maybe 2 to 3 times a month, which was huge for me. Because y'all got to understand, like, I am an adult. I have money and I have access to stores, right? So I could honestly get candy whenever the heck I wanted to get it. And that's exactly what I did. So the fact that I was able to cut it down to 2, 3 months, even just in the beginning, was absolutely wild. And as the months progressed, it really got easy to get honestly all the way down to 0, which is what I was able to do in August and have continued that path. And really, what I am doing to keep my commitment are these simple kind of principles for me that I felt were just enough that it was challenging me, but it was also doable. The first thing I did was I decided in the beginning of my journey, I'm not going to buy candy. Point blank, period. Like, I'm not going to buy candy. If candy happens to be in the office or a friend gives it to me, cool, then I'll eat it. But I'm not going to be the one to buy it. You see what I'm saying? And that helped me take the pressure off and focus on, at the end of the day, what I can control, which is my purchasing, my buying power. And that was a great rule to have in place. Another way that I really kept my commitment was I replaced candy with fruit. So, fruit is a natural candy of the planet. It is that sugary substance that most kids eat naturally when they're a kid. All the fruit snacks, fruit drinks, fruit smoothies, right? There's a reason for that. And so I just leaned into that. Like, when I wanted Sour Patch Kids, I ate blueberries. When I wanted Skittles, I ate strawberries, grapes, etc. And then thirdly, this part is really important too, because right at the end of the day, I know I can only control so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, eventually I gotta get some help to really take this the distance. And that third step was really, I told other people about my commitment to not eat candy anymore, because a lot of my friends knew me as a girl with a sweet tooth. So I had to create a new narrative, which meant anytime I went out or was doing a kickback at a friend's house or we went out to an event, I had to make that known that, like, I'm not going to eat candy. Don't take it personally if I say no, thank you. And start building that culture around me so that the temptation even becomes less, because people know I don't eat candy like that anymore. And so doing all those things really got me to the place where I am now, where I'm not eating processed candy at all anymore. And y'all, like, can I just tell you how? I'm just thinking, I went to go visit my dad this weekend, and they had so much candy in their house because, it's Halloween season and all those things. So I guess my mom went to go buy candy, and it was just all over the house, y'all. I mean, Sour Patch Kids and M&Ms and Hershey bars and Reese's, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, I'm gonna be here for a few days. Like, I just thought, okay, Quia, like, this is actually really putting me to the test that I haven't had in a while. Because, like I told y'all, I don't buy candy. I try not to even put myself in positions where there is candy, but spoiler alert, your girl made it out of the house without eating any candy. Okay, that was sweet, 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 just beautiful moment to just know that I'm actually the kind of person that can resist candy at this point. Is just so beautiful. So, so beautiful, y'all. It's just really, it's and it sounds so silly talking about candy like this because it sounds so trivial, right? But it really is just so much bigger than that. And it's really about getting to a point where, like, I'm understanding the relationship with myself is also learning about what doesn't serve me. What is holding me back from what I'm supposed to be doing or what I can be doing? And in this case, I saw candy as one of those things, but it could be a friendship you have with someone. It could be a job that you have right now. It could be a bad habit that you have right now. It could be a city that you live in. It could be so many different things. And so candy is just really an example I'm using that can really be applied to anything that is holding you back. And it was really a sacrifice for me because this was like something I enjoyed, something I liked. Like, this was not easy to come to terms with it. Hence, we're talking about years in the making, right? I had my awful dentist experience in Houston back in 2017. I'm having this awe of an inspirational conversation with Sarah back in 2018, 2019. So like, this is all building up. But really, like, the benefits, y'all, of this commitment has just been a no-brainer. Between me saving money from just simply not buying candy, because y'all, let's be real, $2 here, $3 here, $4 here, that must be added up, okay? And y'all heard of it. Inflation is a real thing and is vibrant right now, okay? And between that and legit, my teeth started hurting. Y'all, I was literally just an insane person walking around because I would literally be eating these Sour Patch Kids, which used to be my favorite candy. And I'll be like, chew, chew, chew. Oh, like, man, my teeth kind of hurt. Chew, chew, chew. What? Like, I kid you not. Like, I'll be in pain, but still eating the candy. Like, that's insanity. Okay? Insanity. And literally going back to saving money, I save money because I'm not buying the candy, right? But I also save money for my dentist bills. Y'all already know filling up one cavity be like $50, $100. Like, your mind just be like, how much for you to fill in this centimeter of a half a centimeter hole? Insanity. But not only that, my skin cleared up. Because, y'all, I was definitely struggling with my skin for about 3 years where it was just going through it. And see alignment of when I started cutting out processed candy, my face also got better. So I'm not saying that it did something, but I'm saying that it happened around the same time. Okay. So you can draw those correlations. But also, I would say like the one of the biggest revelations from all of this of learning about what it means to sacrifice something for the greater good, what it means to have a commitment, is that this experience showed me what I'm capable of, with God's strength to overcome something that's challenging to me. And it really helped me see another revelation of how can I satisfy future Aquia and not just present Aquia. And this example with candy for me was really that. I was leaning so hard into how can I make a present Aquia happy? How can I make, and even then that didn't last that long because y'all remember I said my teeth were hurting. So even then that was very, very short term Aquia. But I wasn't ever asking, how does this help future Aquia? When future Aquia has to go to the dentist bills, when future Aquia's face is all messed up, when future Aquia's teeth hurt 2 minutes later, how is this helping future Aquia? And starting to have those conversations, it got me thinking, you know what I mean? So like, I just learned that when I'm having a moment or a season where I have to make a sacrifice, I lean on God during my times of sacrifice, no matter how trivial it is, like candy, right? Because I feel like everybody feels like they got to have this big thing that they're leaning on God for. I need a job. I need a house. Like, no, it could literally be as small as I need to cut out candy from my life, processed candy. It's not serving me. It's not getting me to where I need to go. And saying those creating that narrative for yourself. And for me, it was huge of saying, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. Philippians 4:13. And stating that even over something some would see as trivial like candy, or literally saying God is our refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Psalms 46:1. Saying it over, no matter how small the sacrifice may seem to others, you know how big It is, and that sacrifice is healthy to naturally put in your life sometimes in order to get you to where you want to go. And in this case, it was getting me to a happier me. This quit is happy, y'all. I've been saving money. My face is cleared up. I'm feeling good. Okay? This is a testimony. Okay? A testimony. But, it also just goes to show you can start on something that, may not make sense to everybody. It may not seem like a big challenge, but it is to you. And that's where you can learn the power of sacrifice, the benefits it can give you, and help you get to this happier you and self. Right? Right. And like I always love to tell y'all, how am I building community? I'm supporting my friends, okay, on new ventures that they're doing. Like the books I just shared with you all, those are both written by friends. And I'm just so excited to support them and just see what their brain is thinking of and creating. And it's been such a joy. So that's how I'm doing in building community. And honestly, I want y'all to think of like, how can you find a friend and share this episode with them that's in this place where they may need to make sacrifices and they are just struggling on what that looks like, when they should start. And this can help them get a sense of like, sacrifice can actually help you get to your happier self. And this can also show your friends what they're capable of. So how good would it feel to be the friend that helps another friend see the power of sacrifice and get them to your happier self? That's the potential of sharing this episode with them. But I thank you so much for listening. I thank you in advance for sharing this episode with a friend. But please don't forget to subscribe, and that the mugs are out. We all fumble forward. Mugs are out and available for the fall season for you to get all cozy up with. And the link to that is in the show notes. But with that, I say embrace everything you've learned here today and use it to cultivate a life that's grounded in love. Okay? And until next time.